Hello everyone, this is Howard from HHC Review. Today I'm back with a very special GMT Master II. This is not the Pepsi or Batman, it's the 18K white gold with Meteorite Dial. So this watch is made of entirely 18K white gold. The case, the bracelet. So the first thing you hold in the hand is much more heavier than a stainless steel version. So the reference number is 126719 BLRO. So essentially it's a precious metal piece with a special meteorite dial. This watch was introduced in 2019. I mean, what a stunning piece. Obviously, the specs are the same as other GMT Master IIs. The new engine is 3285, 70-hour power reserve. Waterproof is the same, 100 meters, 330 feet. Case is 40 millimeters, 12.2 millimeters thick. So the specs is the same. It's the same design. Oyster bracelet. Folding clasps, right? So it's nothing different. The difference is it's 18K gold and it's the special meteorite dial. Now, one thing about GMT Master II I wish they have is a lighter dial. The most of the GMT Master IIs are black dial. But if you get into the precious metal space, right, you have a green dial that came with the 18K yellow gold case. You have a blue dial that, comes with the 18K white gold case as well. But there's no white dial. Like the, Explorer 2, you have a choice of black, you have a choice of white. So I really, the black dial is fine, but in terms of legibility, white dial or silver dial, it's just a little bit different. It's great to have, it'll be great to have a choice, for consumers or buyer or collectors, whatever, to have a lighter dial GMT Master II. Now this piece, obviously, they designed it, it's not for that purpose. It's just a special meteorite dial. And if you look at this dial, let me see if I can tilt with the lighting a little bit. It's essentially a metallic meteorite piece with a crystalline structure on the surface, right? I mean, the crystalline is obviously because it's from the cooling process as the meteor, travel through the space or whatnot. And the patterns, that's what surprised me a little bit. When I was looking at, okay, this is a good view of the pattern. When I was looking at a lot of the online photos, a lot of the patterns were upwards from left to right direction, right? Left to right, upwards. And this one actually is a little bit different. It has a pattern, you can see at the lower part of the watch has pattern of upper left to lower right, and also lower left to upper right. It's kind of unique. It's not just one direction. Then in the upper right side, 2 o'clock area, you can see. So this watch overall, I would say, is more of a upper left to lower right design. In the middle, from 9 o'clock to almost 2:15. It's more of a horizontal line. And at the bottom, you can see there's a little bit more lower left to lower, upper left to lower right, lower left. So it's a little bit more across, which I feel it's a little bit more unique, just based on what I've seen from other photos online. So each one of these obviously have a different design. And I think that's why, it's very attractive if you have the financial ability to buy or keep one of these. I'm not going to go through all the other details. Obviously, the indexes and hands, it's white gold with a red GMT hand. What I noticed was this particular one, the blue top and the red bottom is a little bit less brighter versus the one I reviewed recently where I had a Pepsi and the Batman reviewed together. This one looks a little bit darker, which is kind of interesting. I would have assumed, all the Pepsi bezels, these new watches, all very new, should have a very similar But this color, this blue, almost looked like, in the camera, it almost looked like a black. Without the camera, it does, show a deep, deep navy blue. But overall, man, what a nice piece for this. We try to tilt a little bit to see a little bit better angle of the surface. So this type of meteor, if you will, it's so-called a Gibbon type. It's mostly for decorative purposes. I mean, a lot of the watch companies are started to make the Meteorite Dial. So it's not super rare as we think. I mean, the watch company can actually acquire them. But to make it the quality of this, like this Rolex, it's quite impressive. Look at the different patterns, a little crystalline, metallic surface. And the material is mostly iron and nickel, based on what I read. 40 millimeter, again, it's not very large. Let me just put on a wrist real quickly. I have a fairly small wrist, 16.5 centimeters, 6.5 inches. So I think 40 millimeter it's the right size. Definitely not small, but it's not like super large like the newer Submariner 41. And even smaller wrist fit this quite well. I mean, if you don't mind the weight, I mean, this watch obviously is quite a bit heavier than the stainless steel version because it's white gold, and precious metal is always significantly heavier. Unfortunately, just like other GMT watches, you can't really get this, right? Unless you have a special relationship with the dealer, or if you spend a lot of money with the dealer or AD, you're not gonna get it. So the retail price of this piece is $39,900 in the US plus tax, $39,900. And obviously because of the collectability and the super unique design and rareness, secondary market is quite expensive. A brand new piece on the secondary market is selling for almost $70,000. So not quite double, but it's almost like 80% higher. But it is what it is, right? It's a supply and demand issue. When you can't get it, you have to get it on the secondary market. And what a beautiful piece. Let's take a final look of the dial here. Pattern is really, really nice. It's like a cross pattern for this particular one, not just one direction. This is a double direction. All right, again, this is the Rolex GMT Master II 126719 BLRO in 18K white gold with a Meteorite dial. And if you liked the video, I'd appreciate it if you could consider subscribing and click the notification button. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.